There we go. All right, so welcome everyone. We are in the, I like to call this one the 101 to the 401 in international language. We put French there because my second language or my first language is French. So I speak very well both languages, autant français qu'en anglais. J'ai pas de problème pour changer de langage. Il y a des fois qu'on cherche nos mots, mais c'est pas grave. C'est dans tous les langages, ces choses-là. So sometimes we have to look for our words, but it's the same thing in every language. Slang change in everywhere. All right. So we have Serena, which having the software for 3 weeks. She plays in it. Did you see or went to some class before this one, Serena?
No, it's my first one.
All right. So we're going to walk you through the system quickly. I hope you learn fast. If not, I have a lot of video. I think I have 4 or 5 already on Discord that you can go and visit and learn from the 101 to today. Let's see if I can get my Sudowrite to work, and I have to log in into the proper one too. And I'm going to share my screen, so this way you'll see what I'm doing. Share screen. Chrome, Discord. Sometime I may have to switch from one sharing to the other. So if I'm talking about a program and you don't see it, let me know, because sometimes we don't know which window we are sharing with Zoom. It's a bit confusing sometimes. I think Chris can agree to this one. Let's see if we can get to the Sudowrite. All right. So this is our screen in Sudowrite. Do you see my Sudowrite? Cool.
Yeah.
All right. So this is our first page when we come in and signed in. As you can see, it's not my first project. I have quite a bit. And I also have 2 accounts. So one which I choose to work with the most likely for my little books that I want to publish. And this one I use a lot for the classes. So I'm not sure what you have on yours, but for me here, I'm also a plugin beta tester, and I also write the plugins. And the plugins will show up, I would say before January, but if not, by the end of January, everyone should have access to those plugins. As soon as we have more information, guys, we will let you know. Those plugins are very, very cool for one reason, because this is where you can actually go and tell Sudowrite, I'm writing in a different language and I want you to do it for me properly in my style and my genre. And I was saying last week to my class that if anyone needs a plugin to write their books in a certain way, to let me know so I can actually write a plugin for them. And once Sudowrite is open, they can access it right away. So I'm going to show you also what the plugin is all about. So on top here, we have our interrogation point, which always tell us about if you have a question you want to ask. Is everyone on Discord?
Yes.
Serena?
No.
Yes.
Yeah, Serena, it would be important that you join the Discord group. All you have to do is to click on Discord, and it's going to bring you to Discord. Can you see my Discord?
Yeah.
All right, so once you get into the Discord, this is what you're going to see, that little pink logo of Sudowrite, and that will give you access to all these server that we have. And I think as you come in, they ask you to introduce yourself. So you're going to sign in, introduce yourself, and then they bring you to a page to choose the way you write. And this thing is right here. You're going to get to this page after you signed in, and you tell what you are, what you write in, and you click on all these genre. And when you click on this, they will all show up over here. Then you can access everything, like every mystery, romance, spicy class, all our class that we have, they are here. And for me, I'm right here under international, under French. And when I have something that I find useful for you guys, I come in and I write down. So yesterday I was writing a book for my dad, and it's from French from Quebec, and is in the early 1900. So I was like, okay, they didn't speak the same French as today. They don't know what an iPhone is and all these things. So I have to tell Sudowrite I need the French from Quebec. So how do I get to that? I'm going to go maybe all over the place. Hopefully I'm not going to lose you as I go. I'm going to show you how I do that too from ChatGPT. And ChatGPT, you don't have to have the pay version. You can have the on-pay version. It will give you the information. Sometimes it takes longer. Sometimes it might be a bit less written at the time, a bit like Claude. Claude, if I'm not a member, and it only give me like, I think it gave 500 words at a time or something like that. It's not a whole lot. And then it give you like 6 prompts, and after that you have to wait 3 or 4 hours before you can do it again. I'm not sure that work with the free version of ChatGPT, but they're both good to work with. So any question on the Discord? Serena, you good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Good.
Thanks.
So that's where you're going to find all my little tricks and all the video that I did before, and also the link of the document. This one here, I'm going to link to you guys at the same time, share. So everything I do, I'm going to share it with you. Anyone with the link, copy the link, put that in the chat. Where's the chat? Okay, there, chat. Oh, there. Let's put that in the chat. Sorry, my vacuum cleaner is emptying the bin. Tell you, when there's an AI you can clean up the whole house and the dishes, I buy it. All right, let's get back here. So we saw the Discord. There is a guide in English to help you going through the Sudowrite. Also, if you like to read, there's other information. This one here, for us, because we have more needs than someone who's only speaking English and write in English, we can ask for some feature. And as you can see here, the top feature that is being asked is store memory or lore book, a way to put basic information about the story into Sudowrite so it's taken into account when generating suggestion. I don't know what it is, but okay. So basically, when we want to have more help with language, so you can see here people are asking a few things, which is supposed to be with language, Fountain, Claude, integration, converting script, need to add Arabic language, 2-part support other language. So this is the one that if you have a chance, go into your Sudowrite, go under that feature and go and say, I want this integrate too. All right, so it's going to integrate the French, the Spanish, Italian, Portuguese, and any other language that you want to be integrated. That would be great for everyone to go and upload. And we're 59, so we're getting there. It's pretty, we're getting up. So more of us there is there, and higher it gets, and we get it faster too. Any question on that?
Nope.
Good. All right. You can report the bugs. So if you're doing your work and you have some problem, you just click on report the bugs. They will bring you to an email. So when they do that, my suggestion to you is once you have the bug, make a screenshot of the problem. And sometimes we have to go quickly because sometimes it's just a small error in the bottom, error, something times out, or error, something network. If you have a bug which keep coming back, try to go fast and do a screenshot. You take your link on the top also and put everything in the email and describe what the problem is, and then click send. And the email for them, it's hi@sudowrite.com. Good? Good. Don't save. Let's close that. Then you have your little gear icon where you have your account. You can manage your membership, your billing, your credit card. There's a tour. We all advanced, so we don't need that tour. You can change your letters. If you don't like the quattro, you can change the size of the letters. And the size of the letters is only in the AI generation of the main program, not in the small little square like in the Bible. You won't get the letter bigger in the synopsis and things like that, just in the main program that you are writing in. The spacing between your line, you can change your color. So you don't like the color that it's there, you can change it to a color which is less hard for your eyes. There's the show your word count, which is on top of your program when you are in your project. Your indent in paragraph, if you want more space between your paragraph, and you have your affiliation in the bottom. Any question on that little gear icon? Okay. Once you get the plugin has been, you can go through the plugin in many different ways, but on the first page is there. And the one I'm working on is under multilingual. You can see that's Canada French, and there's people also working with German. I don't know about the cowboy thing. German, I saw some more there. This one is, I'm not sure what language, is it German or, yeah, it's German too. It's written down in German, French. So a lot of people are finally get it to how to write because they come to my class, and I also have my little magic prompt onto Sudowrite to tell people, hey, that's how you do it if you want to change language. All right, so there's lots of plugin of all kind. Not all useful, but you go and check. Just be careful once they open. Some of the plugin may use a lot, and I mean a lot of words. And every words that the AI is generating are counting against your monthly allowance. And the monthly allowance of the words are going to change very soon. It's not going to be by words. It's going to be by credit. So we're still on words, but they're going to switch to credit, which means we're going to have more words instead of one word at a time. It's going to be more like credit, like other programs are using. I'm not very good into trying because nobody seems to know how much words is one credit. So we are like, we don't know yet. All right, let's see. Last week we did start a story. And I don't think that's the one here. So what I'm going to do, what shall we do? Should I start you guys and start a new story? Or how would you like to go about the learning today? What's yeah, any question that you want to get an answer?
So one quick question. I was trying to find, I don't have access to the plugins beta. Is there a channel or place where we could request it, or do we just need to wait until January?
There was a channel. I said to people to go into my Discord
Mhm.
and write on the French here and go put your email and ask for the plugin to be added for you guys because you need a plugin for the second language. And I'm going to make the demand directly with Michael to do it. Just don't be shy. Go in, put your name, your email, and say I need a plugin for the second language. And I will ask Michael to get you in. It was 3 weeks ago. He says anyone who's going to come in with that language demand, I will try to grant them their plugin. And hopefully some of you guys got it. I'm not sure, but just do that for me, and it will. I will ask Michael to bring the plugin for you. Okay. All right. Any other question? Okay.
Hey, Manon.
Yes.
I was not here. I was not here last week, so I don't know what story you were doing.
That's what I'm looking for. Which story I was doing because we did so many stories. Il était une fois un jeune garçon qui s'appelait Marc, adorait danser. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you what I'm doing right now, because like I said earlier, I'm writing a story for my dad, and it's based on his father. So the fact that it's based on his father is we already know part of the story. So we have to direct the AI in a certain direction. So do you understand what I'm saying? So in that way, we have to do a lot more than someone who just comes in with a story which is not attached to the person and says, okay, I want a story about Santa Claus coming and visit that family in north of Quebec or in France, in Paris, things like that. Because that story is based on true fact, it's going to be a bit different to work with. And that's one thing that a lot of people comes into Sudowrite and they want to know, how do I write a story which I already have? Because I already know where the story goes. So it's a bit more touchy for us to go with that. So Serena, if it's too advanced, you let me know. Stop me at any point to ask question. Okay?
Okay, sounds good.
Perfect. So what I did is because my grandfather had already a story written, what we call that again? Is bio, or how do they call that here? Autobiography. So because we base on his autobiography, and I'm adding a bit of fiction to it because we don't know everything and we just don't want a story which just have the biography of the person, when he's born, what he did in work and all that stuff. So it's a bit more than that. We want more information. And you can see here that I did put a lot of information. So I'm going to drive you through my process of what I did because I had a PDF file that my grandfather and his daughter wrote years and years ago. And it's so long ago, it was done on a typewriter. So you can imagine that scanning a typewriter, which has been like 20, oh my God, it's even more than that. I think it's 30 years old. Try to scan that and get the computer to fix these letters. It's not an easy task. It's the scanning and the transforming of the software and all that. It's a bit of work to do it. So what I did is I went through the file and then, where's my Claude? I'm going to show you Claude in the same time. You can see me changing screen. You see the Claude coming in? Perfect. Going to sign in my Claude. Good. All right. So I went into Claude. I tried in ChatGPT first. I went in ChatGPT, and in ChatGPT, you can ask ChatGPT, you can attach a file. I tried to attach the file in ChatGPT, and it gave me tons of error. It wasn't able to do what I was asking. So I says, okay, I know Claude has a lot more memory when it comes to a file. So I had to go in Claude, and I brought the file in Claude. So I transformed the whole PDF file. I went and highlight all the words that actually the computer was able to discern from the typewriter. And I transformed everything into a text file. And I took the text file and I brought it into Claude and I says, can you write a long synopsis in French with the file attached? And because I have the free version, it just write me these little section at a time. But it's kind of reading the whole file, which is in French, and I told it it's in French. I says, can you give me a synopsis, but a long one? I don't want a short one in French of what you see on that file. And that's what he did. So he gave me, and I went down. Each time he says, okay, you're done until 1 o'clock in the morning. I said, okay, next, I will wake up at 1 o'clock in the morning. But I did not. So, and I go like that. I just say, continue, please, writing. And he keep the file on top in memory. And it keeps going. So I'm going to have quite a bit of words when it's finished with the file and get me my long synopsis that I need to bring into Sudowrite. So I know I already have over 2,000 words from this playing back and forth with Claude to give me a long synopsis of my grandfather's story. Because when I went to ChatGPT, I says, can you give me all the name that you can find in the file? And he says, I cannot find any character or names in your file. I says, okay, that's not right because my grandfather is there. That's my cousin is there. So ChatGPT wasn't able to do it, and it's the paid version. But Claude did find all the names this far and is doing a pretty good job. So this is how I went and get the information I need to bring in Sudowrite. And I'm going to keep going until it tells me that I'm out of conversation. All right. So I took all my conversation and then I went to Sudowrite. And in Sudowrite, okay. Can you hear the radio in the back of me?
No.
Okay, good, because my radio just started by itself. So I went in my brain dump and I went and took all that Claude gave me until I had my max words. So you can see I could not put more. I only have 2 words left. And I still need some headers that I need to put in also. Because we write in a different language, we need some headers. These headers didn't come by itself. I went in ChatGPT and I asked ChatGPT to give me the header I need to have everything written in the proper French, because my grandfather was a hunter, a chopping wood too. He was a wood runner, everything which is with the forest and the farm he did. So is his father. So I needed to have that language into the story. So, and I went to ChatGPT to do that. So first I did that. I went and get all my things from Claude until I have my 2,000 words. So, okay, that's great. I have my 2,000 words. I know how my grandfather was talking, how Claude sees things. He has conversation. I can see that the way that he speaks from the file that I gave him. Says, yeah, okay, I still don't know how to tell the AI how to write that for me. So what I do, I copy everything here. I went into the style. In the style, you have that little magic box here, match my style. So I went and click on match my style. I put my 2,000 words in there and I asked my child, match my style to give me the style the story is written in. So let's see if we can do it together so you have an example of what it is. See if I can catch 2,000 words in here. We're going to start from here, la sauvage. Copy. And we have 2,500. We have too many words. You can see on top, they can show how many words I'm supposed to have highlighted. Doesn't it show? It's not changing. Okay. Well, we'll see if we have too many words. Let's go back to la rivière, la drague, la rivière sauvage. Normally it shows us how many words we have highlighted, and right now it's not doing it. Hopefully we have about 2,000 words. So match my style. It's going to let me know if I have too many. So we have 1,648 words, which is enough to do the match my style. We have language, we have words, we have everything. So we go and click next. It's going to give me, it gave me in French. So today is on the right side of the bed. Yesterday I had to write down on top of everything, write all output in French. And for you, if you want to write in Spanish, you have to write the same thing, write all output in Spanish. And there, do not put Spanish from a country or something like that, just Spanish. Only when you get to the prose that you're going to ask the language you want to write in. All right. So here, it didn't do it yet. You got that. It didn't do next. Okay, let's see. Next. Analyze. Okay, I have a bug. It's not doing my... So I'm going to copy this. Tell them that match my style doesn't work. Analyze words. So it doesn't want to do it. So let's see. Maybe it needs that little sentence on top. So write all output in French. Let's see if it's going to understand that. Maybe it doesn't understand the language underneath right now. No, there's something going on. I have some bizarre little dot on my screen. Let's copy all of that. Copy. Let's get out of here. Let's see if we can refresh and ask again. Okay. Let's go back in the style. Match my style. Copy. Next. No, he really doesn't want to do it. Okay, so let's skip that. That's what it should give me once it works properly. It's supposed to give me all that information here. So I'm going to copy that. Normally it's giving me all the POV of the story, the narrative, the structure and everything else. But today is not doing it. So I don't know why, but we'll figure it out. We're going to copy that also. No, send to doc. So when it works, which is the first time since I used Sudowrite that it doesn't work, is going to bring you a 40 words style that you can use. So for me, when it did work, that's the style that it gave me. And it gave me more than 40 words. It gave me 56 words, I believe. So when it gives you more words, and as you can see, give it to me in English too. Wait a sec. No, it's half and half. Okay, I know what I did. I went to ChatGPT. So once you have too many words, you put these little dash between words. And when you do that, it takes everything as one word. So here's the 30 words, but if I put a little dash between, it's going to go down to 37 words. So once you are inside the match my style, and there's too much words to bring in because you won't do it. If there's more than 40 words, you won't send it here. Go inside and do those little trait d'union, little dash, minus sign, and it's going to do it. As soon as you get 40 words, it's going to bring it in. And as you can see, that little magic sentence here, match all output, write out all the output in French, is everywhere. So I put it here, I put it in my synopsis, I put it in my genre. And here I did ask for everything to be written into JSON, and I will show you that. And also I have it here to make sure you understand I want everything in French. Any question this far? I guess not. Cool. So I had my style. I know it was an autobiography. It's an adventure, and it's the Quebec French that I was looking for. So I put that in my genre. And I did say, so, okay, I'm going to leave it as basic as possible to not mix up the AI. If I give it too much information, it's going to derail. So I just keep it as autobiography, adventure, and the language that I'm looking for. And I just leave it as that. And then I ask for my synopsis. Then it gave me a nice synopsis, kind of a cut down one too. Didn't kind of finish, but it's the synopsis it gave me, just 600. Lately, there's something going on with Sudowrite. It he tends to cut down in the middle of things. So I know that's something they're working on. So, but it doesn't stop anything else from happening after the synopsis, the short synopsis he wrote here. Things kept going anyway. He didn't stop anything. Okay. So we had our synopsis again. I was supposed to put, that's my character, sorry, synopsis. Write everything in French, all output. Then I ask for my character to be written. Whoop, that's not that one I want. I want all in French. So this copy everywhere, as I said, better more than not enough. And my list of character, because it's a true story, still in flux. Because he gave me some name, which I like it because it's going to put some punch to my story. But my great-great-grandfather is here, my grandfather, my grandmother, and some of my cousin. They kind of changed some of their name, but that's something that can be fixed in the future, no problem. And then I got a cute bunch of people in my story here. And he gave it to me in English. And I did try many times. He didn't want to give it to me in French. Just because you're here, maybe we're going to be lucky. I'm going to ask for a regeneration of it. And I'm going to make sure I get a copy of it. I'm going to ask for another generation. Et voilà. See, you lucky star is giving to me in French. Le petit-fils de Armand. And you're never blocked. Anything you need the AI to give you, and it doesn't give it to you, you can go in and write it by yourself. So the people which are not there, their birth date and all that stuff, I'm going to go back in and write them because I have all that on the file on the side. So I'm going to say my grandfather is born at that time and all that, so that you can put a timing into the story because it's an autobiography, so you don't want it to be written in 2000 with all the new stuff when in those days they barely had anything to speak of. They were hunters and trappers and fishers. So we have our people in French. We have our two main personages. My main guy is not there though. So I'm going to go, remember I copied my character before. I'm going to go in my little POV, which was supposed to be written here, that I sent to Doc. And I'm going to get all my little personages that I had earlier because I already start with their date of birth and things like that. All right. So, and this is where writing simple style. So I know that all my little things that I need is here. So everything that I'm going to need to keep in memory in case I lose anything or I change my mind, I'm going to put it here. Okay. What I want to know though, it's Citizen. Where is it? Come on, come back up. I want it to be in all separate. So I had to get, I want to keep my all my indentation so it's easier for me to read. All right, I want to bring my great-grandfather back in. I don't have a lot of information on him yet, but I will develop the character as I go in the story. So I'm going to put him up here. And again, I'm going to put my little magic little sentence, write all the output in French. I put that in every box. All right. So I have my character. And if by any chance I say, okay, I don't like those characters, it's not working out for me, you can go back in that little clock here, the history, and you can go back and get your previous one that you wrote at any point because they save many times. You can see when you're writing, it's going to flash on top. That's because it's saving I think it's every 5 seconds that they save. So you have many save point in your story. So what I like is this one is in French. I'm just going to have to bring back the date they were born. All right, so we have our character. Now we need our outline. So here I did write all the output in Quebec French, and I put that everywhere. And what I did after I generate my outline, I put it after the dot dot. So right here and after the dot dot, because it's reading after the dot. And I put it at every chapter. Also, when you're going to ask for your outline, the first outline is going to show up as this. I'm going to go back in my previous outline. Go back down a bit. Okay, chapter, act. No, I need to go down lower. Lower. Okay. When you ask in a different language, it's going to change these here. Act 1, that's in French. Chapitre 1, that's in French. The problem with that, the AI doesn't understand Chapitre 1 and Act 1 like this. You understand just the English version. Even though the rest is in French, it needs these in English. So what you have to do is you go back when it's here and you just put Act 1. So remove the E and put all chapter in English on every chapter that you have into your outline. Also in your outline, read it. Read that the outline makes sense, that's the story that you want to be written. As much as information you have in your outline in each chapter that you want that happen, write it here. If you don't have enough space, go down because everything is saved, and you can also take your outline, copy it, go into one of your little documents you have on the side that you save everything, take it, bring it down here. So your outline is saved here. So if you have a problem that you have to delete something, you can come back here and get it back. So let's go back to the outline. So you write down what you want. If you don't have enough space, go down, just delete. And use all the space you need to write the chapter you want to write with the details you want in here. So you tell it where it is. In the outline, you can tell a lot of information. Like when you write your own book by hand, you have your sticky note all over the place that you have, okay, that character is in this chapter, that person is going to do that in that chapter. You can do that here too. That's your little sticky note of your outline is the same thing. Sounds good? Any question this far? I'm talking a lot, but nobody is talking. No question?
Not
The
yet.
question, go ahead, go ahead.
Go ahead.
The question I was saving is that when I was doing the match my style, the write all output in language was taking words. Is that because I don't have the plugin, or do we need to pay with word in those boxes with that note, the square brackets notes, write in language?
It's not supposed to take these back because you already read it once. So normally they don't take those 5 or 6 words you put in the bracket because we have it everywhere. So I didn't see that it was changing my word count because it's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or 7 words.
Got it. Yeah, the place where I had trouble was with the style, because when you get this compressed style, it's usually like 40, so that's why I had to like trim it down manually. I was wondering if that happened for other folks.
Yeah, it does. Like I said, you put those little minus sign between your words.
Got it.
And then you're going to save enough space because you see I have there's a lot of words in here. There's a lot more than 40 words, but it shows only 37. And that's because I
But
put all those minus sign between the words.
got it. I missed that trick, so thank you.
Cool. Okay, so we have our synopsis, we have our outline. Let's see my chapter 1. Or what I'm going to do, I'm going to get you through. We're going to add a new chapter 1, and I'm going to walk you through the whole process here. So you can add as many times as you want a chapter 1, chapter 2, all your chapter. You can jump from chapter 1 to chapter 8 to, see if I want to do chapter 8 right now, just click chapter 8. It's going to bring me to chapter 8. Okay, and I have all that stuff already saying write everything in French. And here there's an error. See that? Chapter 8 and chapter 25. That's not supposed to happen like that. So when you see something like that, go back into your outline and go check what happened. So we have chapter 8. Why is not checking chapter 9? It makes no sense. It jumped to chapter 25, which is the last one. Why is it doing that? That cannot be just that. Sometimes might be just a space. Let's see what it's doing with that. No, it jumped at chapter 25. And it's not supposed to do that. It's not even supposed to show here. Huh. We have another little bug that I'm going to tell them about. And that's not going to help us because I don't want the chapter 25 to be written inside of this 4, 5. Anyone see something that I may have messed up somewhere? Chapter, I didn't make mistake in my chapter. Conflict, it's fine. Act 3, chapter 11, there's no reason for jumping to 25. Well, still show me 25. Huh. Write all output in Quebec French, all output in, this one is the epilogue. Okay.
Is it the chapter 15? Doesn't have the write all output in Quebec French, your outline?
Ah, you have a good eye, maybe. Let's see. And I've put after the 2 dot, space. No, that's not it. All right, I'm going to ask them why it's doing that when I get off the class. Okay, let's see, we're going to add another chapter 1, see if it's doing the same thing, because maybe a glitch going on. No, chapter 1 is fine. You only show me chapter 1. Okay, so let's work with chapter 1, and I'm going to ask them what's going on, why it's jumping from 8 to 25. Because even when I go here at add, chapter 8 is my last one. So there's something going on, and I will ask them what it is. Or maybe it's because I have, no, that makes no sense. You should be there. Okay, let's see here. So we have the chapter 1, and I ask, write all the output in Quebec from French, Quebec. And it has the name of my grandfather. That's basically the starting of the story. And I can ask to generate new beats. And your beats is also where you're going to go and add things to your story. If like me, it's an autobiography, that's the chapter 1. It's presenting my grandfather, the village is in, the day, how his day is happening. So, c'est d'écrire, décrivez l'enfance d'Armand passé à observer son père dans ses expéditions en forêt, décrire les premières expéditions avec Armand. Oh, yes. The other thing I'm going to show you, and it's, yeah, I'm sorry, it's in the plugin. So take notes, because once you get the plugins, you will want to use that. What I do here is, okay, this is nice. This is all the information I want in the story. All is good. So I can go and say thumbs up, because I like that. But it may be looping, because first we're working with a different language that the AI is not fully integrated to the system. So I want everything to be well organized, so in chronological orders. So what I do here is I'm going to copy my beats. I'm going to go underneath, going to pass them underneath here. And I'm not going and do the special pass because I'm going to copy them again, select all. And I'm going to go in the plugin. And in the plugin, you're going to find this one here. Put that down on the note somewhere, structure beats. And this is written by John. It's very useful. And I'm hoping that Sudowrite is going to use his way of doing the beats so that we don't have to go through the plugin all the time. And now to make sure that he understands, because John didn't write those plugins for the French language. So I'm going to go get my little sentence again. So write all output in French. So I'm going to put it up here for John plugin to work properly. So I'm going to copy all my beats. Set copy. It's highlighted also. I'm going to go in the plugin and I'm going to ask John plugin to structure my beats. It's going to tell me if my beats are in order or if there's a possibility of looping. And see here it's telling me there's a risk of looping rising at the beats 4, 6, and 13, which all emphasize descriptive passage about the landscape and Armand's activity. Overreach might occur between 5 and 8. They focus on the same theme of knowledge transmit, but could be condensed to avoid repetition and tangent. So here's giving me a way to stop these to happen. So the looping and things to be repeated too many times. So it's giving me a suggestion to restructure my beats. And as you can see, give them in English, but we'll get it back in French anyway. So what I do, I'm looking at all of them. It says, okay, it put that in chronological order. It put beats together. 10 to 13 are together now. And what else? 5 and 8 together. So you see what it did? So it saved us some work of going and doing everything by hands ourselves. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the new beats that it gave me. I'm going to go underneath, going to insert the whole answer here. And again, I'm going to come back and get my little sentence because on the second beat, it does work. So I says, okay, that's nice. I have everything in chronological order. Now I have less beat. So I'm going to ask it to expand my beats. So I'm going to copy everything again. So those are the new beats that it gives me here. I'm going to highlight them all. Just the beats, not all the sentence they put underneath. So we don't need that bottom part here. And I'm going to ask the second plugin, which is best these beats. And this little sentence here, you can use it in ChatGPT. So you can take your beats as of right now without these those plugins, and you can bring them to ChatGPT and say, can you best my beats? And ChatGPT will do it for you. The same thing that it's doing here. But the chronological order, we'll have to ask John if he has a ChatGPT. I'm sure he has a ChatGPT of way to get the structure that he's doing here. Because I have the plugin, I just use this plugin. It's I don't have to reinvent the wheel. So again, is going to get my beats with more meat on them. It's going to explain about Armand when he was a children and all that, playing in with the animal, the specific is young, even play with a howl. So it's giving me more to the story, which is great. And don't forget, it's also based itself onto the brain dump that we have here. The synopsis keeps everything in mind. It's working with all those at the same time. So now I have my new beats with a lot more meats, and also which should have no looping to them. So I'm going to insert this here. So I have all my information, it's saved, right? So I'm going to copy them, going to thumbs up. If I don't like them, I can go and thumbs down too. So I got all my beats and they all have meets, they're all in order, and he put 5 and 6 that we will have to fix when we get to it. So instead of starting the bottom and ask to write my story all over, I keep my original beats on top here, and I'm going to ask, get me another chapter 1, because I don't like to work with too much information. I like to see it directly. So the beats that he gave me with John, I'm going to put them here. As you can see, we have a lot of beats now, and it's a lot more information. We have 482 words instead of what we got at the start here, 426 and 42. So we have about 80 words more. So meaning the first beats might not be so bad. So I'm going to remove the 5 and 8. I'm just going to put 5. So 5, 6, 7, 9. Even if the numbers don't match, don't worry about it. Sudowrite is going to fix them up when you go here and check your beats. Okay, we have to do something here. It doesn't accept. So we have dots instead of the 2 point. That's something I should ask John to fix. It's dot instead of the 2. So we have a few things that we have to look. So take your time. It's less frustrating when you correct these things as you go than starting to use your words and says, oh my God, I spoiled off those words because I didn't check about just a little thing like that. Chris, can you remind me to ask John to fix the 2 dots to 1 dot?
Oh, yes,
Thank you.
no problem.
All right. Okay, so we have that. I know I forgot to show you something, Serena, as we go here. When we do as the outline, did you see that you can choose a different outline? When you generate an outline, you can ask these outline type. Did you see those?
Oh, yes.
So you understand this part, you can ask different way of doing your outline.
Yeah, can you show me again how you got there?
Yes.
Did you just click on the...
Go here on the generating. To generate outline, you go on the little arrow down. And that's where you choose your outline. You can have the novel, the hero's journey, the Hollywood beats, story circle, or a romance outline. So you can change them this way and say use this one, or just stay here and use this one. Sounds good?
Okay, great. Yep.
Right, so you choose this one here, and then you click generate, and it's going to give you the outline you need and the style that you requires. It's about the same thing into our chapter 1 that we're going to do right now. We generate our beats through the old system. We check now we have ... We good. I don't see any other error. What do we need at the start? Make sure we have our little magic sentence. And this is very important. This is where you put for sure which language you want. And for me, it was the Quebec language. And you can even go even deeper. You can say in the year 1900. And it's going to give you the patois they were talking in those days also. So we have that. We have our header, write all output in French, Quebec French, and then we have our beats. And it's telling us that the beats goes in pairs. So 1 and 2, 3 and 4, etc. So we can hide that. Now, this little part here, I didn't show you that. I will show you after. We're going to do the start this thing here first. So we have our beats. We have everything corrected the way we want. We can generate. Now we have choice in the generation. You can go from most accurate. Will follow your beats very, very closely. You can go with best prose, which is Claude. And this one's going to give you more fiction to it. It's going to be normally it's a bit faster, more dialogue. It's depending on the day or how your story goes, and it has enough information to work with. Then we have the fastest, and that one says you might get dizzy because you really do write fastest. And normally it's shorter, and people like the fastest when they have a lot of action. They want a scene to go fast with action quickly. They use this one to work with. And between beats, you can change these generation that you're using. And I will show you that too. This one is the unfiltered. That one is good for sex, violence, and horror. And they say it's not good for first person POV. And it's not true. Apparently, it does first person POV. Maybe not the best version of first person view of POV, but it does the first person POV. So I think Nicole is asking that they remove that because it does the first person POV. So I'm going to start with most accurate to show you. Is going to describe very, very clearly on the first generation. And before it gets too far, I'm going to tell it to pause. So it's telling us, dans la fraîcheur de l'aube, le jeune Armand suivait les pas de son père à travers les forêts robustes du Québec. Leurs bottes s'enfonçaient dans la mousse épaisse qui tapissait le sol, tandis que les branches craquaient sous leurs pieds. Les deux silhouettes se dessinaient devant un tableau de pin tordu et des hiboux gris dont les yeux perçants semblaient jauger leur passage. Regarde, fiston. So this is a language I was looking for. So fiston is son, but in the way of those days, my father was telling my brother often, "Hey, fiston." So this is the way that the father tell their son in a cute way, a fatherhood way. They're talking to their son. So this is the language I was looking for. And I'm going to let you know how I got to the language I was looking for, because it wasn't that simple, because I was trying to figure out, okay, I want the language of the hunter. Well, you don't want to know what the hunter talk like, because this is not what I was looking for. So maybe in some chapter is what I want, but not in this one. So I will show you what I did. And that's what it is also in Discord, because I put it in Discord, the result I got on the French language. So this is the first 1 and 2. And like I said, the first one, the most accurate, is very descriptive. It's going to take its time, give you a full sentence, full dialogue, and full description of what's happening in the first 2 beats. A lot of us author like this one to start a chapter just for that. And then most of us like to switch. So you can go in the mode and say, okay, for the next 2 parts, I really like to go in the best prose and see what it's going to give me. So do not click restart, because it's going to restart 1 and 2. But the good things, unless they change something, is not going to delete. Before it was deleting everything. When you click restart, everything was deleted, and then it was restarting from scratch. Now when you click restart, it starts at the bottom here. So you can do that, or you can say continue. And it's going to change from most accurate to best prose. So they are face to face with an original. So he's bringing the action a lot faster in best prose. So here he was introducing everything. And if we look at 3 and 4, met l'accent sur la compétence de survie. Père introduit l'histoire traditionnelle, légendaire, de traverser les générations, montrer l'événement de... See, they don't even say anything about, oh, right here. At the end of 4, he says, as an example, when you go in the forest, they may find a orignal or a lynx in Canada. So what best prose did, says, okay, they may have that. Well, he says, well, I'm going to put it right there. So right at the start, they are walking in the forest and they are face to face with one of them right away. So this is a big orignal, a male version of the orignal, face to face with my grandfather and his dad. So you can see that the action is much faster. Is going to take it and tweak it the way you want into, oops, and I forgot to press pause. Oh boy, I'm at 9 and 10, so almost at the end of the story. You can see that also he write a lot faster than most accurate. So he wrote all that quickly. Now you have a bear. So there's a lot more action. And then I know that chapter 1 doesn't have all that action because it's basically introducing the life in the forest, how they build their house, how they put their traps and things like that. And here they basically facing every animal, the lynx, the bear, the orignal, the castor, they're all here. So best pro.
Pourquoi vous me rappelez pour laisser un message sur mon répondeur en parlant d'une demande de dépannage, je sais pas quoi, service client
Hello,
pour une
Maggie.
Xiaomi, de garder à peu près 15 jours le téléphone et qu'après, d'ici là, ils vont te rembourser en bon d'achat, tu les auras sur ton compte.
Maggie,
Ou après,
Maggie,
tu peux le transférer sur ta.
Okay. Welcome, Maggie. We keep going. All right. So we have the best pros going. So we almost finished. He has finished at 10 and we have 14 or 15 beats. So he went very fast from the first most accurate to the end of best pros. And we can go and ask for even faster if you want to. I think I'm going to just let it finish the best pros. And as it's finishing that, I'm going to show you this here. When you have many chapter 1, like I did here, or many chapter 2, what I do normally, not in this one, because this one is what I did is I put, he's going to stop, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he's going to stop. What I did is I took my original beats, then I put all my step by step with the structure of my beats, and then I went to the next one, and that's where I wrote the story with the new beats. Okay? But normally what I do, if it's not exactly what I want, but this one is pretty much what I want because I made my dad listen to it and he was really, really touched because he felt that he was in the story that he remember. But normally I will go, because I did ask in most accurate, I will go and do a second chapter 1 and ask for best pros. And what I do is I put them side by side in what we do call the kick bashing. So you take word from one or paragraph from one, and you go and put them side by side and choose which one you want to build your story, the final story that you have after that, to obviously go many times over to build your book for publishing. But you understand the kick bashing? Anyone understand the kick bashing or doesn't understand what the kick bashing is?
Yeah. Kick bashing, yay.
Yeah, kick bashing, yay. So I'm not sure if Frank, Maggie, and Serena understand. Don't be shy.
I got it.
You got it? All right.
If
Frank?
you could go over it again, I'll appreciate it.
All right, perfect. So what I'm going to do here, remember we have chapter 1 with most accurate, and I ask it here to finish chapter 1 in best prose. So what I do is we have Scrivener. This is, do you see Scrivener, Chris? Or do I have to switch my view?
No, still looking at Sudowrite.
Okay, I'm going to check if finished it probably didn't finish the last one that I asked because we need that. I'm going to click continue because as soon as I get out of there, it's going to stop writing. So I'm going to click continue and let him finish. And then I will show you what I do after that. We go in Scrivener. This is the way I work, and this is the way of many of us. Nicole works the same way too. We use Scrivener and put them side by side. If you have a Word page and you just open 2 programs together and put them side by side, and then you can do the kick bashing. Let it finish this there. Is any of you has Scrivener?
No.
No.
No? Okay, so if you don't have Scrivener, I'm going to give you something that most of us has is Page or Words. everybody normally have page and words or words, and I'm on the Mac, so I use page. So I'm going to open page and show you how to do the kick bashing. All right, it's done. All right, let's see. Sharing, new share. I'm going to show you page. So you see my page?
Yep.
So I'm going to ask, do you still see my page?
No, no,
Yeah,
no more.
something happened. You drop the page. Okay, hold on. I'm going to create a new system here because I think that's what it is. When I asked to create a new page, it dropped. Okay. Now we'll share that. It's not going to share this one. Is it sharing? Screen failed. Back up. Share. Page. There we go. All right. So this is page, which is for you can be also Word. And I'm going to ask for two of them. Do you see both or you see only one?
I only see one. Are we supposed to see two screens?
Yeah, put two page side by side. You might not want to do it. Let's see if I can.
Only see one, sorry.
Let's see if I can get both on the screen. If not, you'll be able to understand. Or if we can we share both? Oops, no. I cannot share two screen. Let's see if I can share the desktop. All right. Now can you see both?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
So what I do, what many of us do, we're going to take chapter 1, the first one. Going to copy all of it, copy, and I'm going to bring it here. Okay, so I have my chapter 1, which is most accurate. And I'm going to go get the other one, which was start with most accurate and then switch to best prose. I'm going to bring it here. And I put down best prose. All right, we'll get this. So what we do when we kick bashing, we have both together. Then you can choose which one you like best. And then when you have the one you like best, for me, I'm using Vellum. Where's my Vellum? Vellum. You see Vellum?
Yes. Yes.
You can see I have a lot of books started in Vellum that I'm working on. There's 2 which are published, but they're not on this version of Vellum. They're on the other one. This is the one I'm working on that we had our Halloween special, 13 chapter written. So I'm fixing them and soon we'll be able to publish it. So this one here, I also have Dad's Adventure, a lot of French books that I'm working on. So I'm going to start a new book because this one here is giving me what it's going to look like when someone read it. So I have my new book here and I'm going to say, okay, which one I prefer? So do I prefer that it start dans la fraîcheur de l'aube or les premières lueurs du jour? Well, I think I like this one, the most accurate better here. And it starts with conversation. But I like this sentence here because it says hello fiston. And this one is very short. So regarde fiston. And it stop. So it's a very short sentence right here. And this one is longer. He's really asking me if he's ready for his day of adventure. But this one, it says, hello fiston, ranger les arbres majestueux, ces pins-là ont traversé. Okay, I like I like this one. That paragraph here I like. So I'm going to copy it and I bring it into my Vellum. But this here, I like that one, but I like that one even better because now it's talking about the trees also. So I'm going to copy this one as the second one. And that's how you build as a kick bashing. You choose which one you want to build your story, your final version that you can send to your alpha reader, your editor, and your beta reader. Does that make sense?
Yes, that's great.
Great. Frank, is that you understand how we do the kick bashing now?
Apologies, I missed that again, but feel free to continue.
Okay, so you missed it?
I missed it, but yes, I was trying to working on my bits, so I missed the last part. Sorry about that.
Okay, I understand what you're doing. I'm doing the same thing. Sometimes I'm in class and I get
Yeah.
understanding something and I want to try it right away. But you can looking at the
Yeah,
recording.
and unfortunately, the thing that happened to me is that when I generated the bits, they came out in Spanish. So I was puzzled, saying, like, oh, how can I revert this to English? And I finally figured it out. But sorry about I had to was juggling with two things at once.
Okay.
I was able to cut is that you had some books in Vellum, and one of them is coming up. So what is this kid bashing thing about?
So like I said, is I asked to generate twice chapter one. One is in most accurate and the second one is in best prose.
Excellent. Okay, so
And I brought them
what
into page.
okay, to page.
And they are side by side. So you have the most accurate and the
Okay.
best prose.
All right. And then we just combine them?
I combine them. That's where we go and we start doing our editing. So I says, okay, I like the entrance of the chapter one with this paragraph here. This one is too short and it's starting too quickly. So I took this one and I put it into my Vellum, which is my end result.
Got it. Got it. So this is okay, got it. So this is we generate using more than one model. Could be unfiltered, could be one of the new models that are coming up fairly soon, and you pick your favorites, and then you do manually. You start combining them into a single narrative.
Document. Yes.
And is that the final version, or are we going to do something with this combined version later?
You always go back many times because you're going to put it here. You're going to reread it many times, and it's most of us, that's what we do in a way. I know I go back at least 5 times before I'm going to send it to my alpha reader. And I also send it to my editor, which goes around and check for any kind of English mistake or French mistakes and things that says, okay, this is too long and things like that. You got to have your alpha and your beta reader and your editor to help you because you cannot do everything alone. You need more than just one person to write a book. But this version here with Vellum, it's nice because I can see if someone has an iPad, how it's going to show up on his iPad, how it's going to show up on his phone, how it's going to show up into a book because everything is being generated through Vellum.
Got it. And the other alternative was to use Scrivener, right? Is that that was the other possibility?
Yeah, the other possibility is Scrivener. And Scrivener, you can take, you open it and it's a bit more complicated to work with Scrivener. You have a lot more learning to do, but it's the same thing. You have your chapter, your scene, you can put all your chapter here. And with the Scriveners, you can put them side by side. And that I haven't done yet. But Nicole is showing how we're supposed to put them side by side. So I can take 2 of those, put them side by side on the same screen like I do with Page, and do the kick bashing. And with Vellum, like the one here on Page, you can highlight your things. Same thing with Scrivener. You can highlight and change the color of your letters to say this one I like, this one I don't like. That's how you kick bashing and you do your stuff. In this one, which is a great thing, is you have place for your character. And this one doesn't have my character, it's on my other version. So you can come here on your character, you can add your character, the name, their roles in the story, their goals. You can put their pictures here, and then you have everything in one area that's all there, all your chapter, your character, the place where the story is happening, the name of the setting, the role of that setting, with which character comes in. The manuscript format is a lot in Scrivener. It's a program which is you need to learn before going through the whole thing, because it can be very frustrating to work with. You go online and look how to work with it, learn it before you start putting everything in it. Okay?
Got it. And the magic word here is like knit bashing. That would be like knitting, right? Like getting like threads and doing a sweater together, right? So
That's what we
that's
call
the
kick bashing, yes.
got it. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you for sharing the workflow.
No problem. Any question about my workflow on how I do the kick bashing? Everyone is good? All right, so we have our kick bashing done. We have our story. We have 2 chapters. You know, you can do multiple chapter. What else? Yeah, show you how to get your language. Everyone has ChatGPT. This is not it. Yeah. So, no, those are my conversation with ChatGPT. Can you? There we go. So what I did with ChatGPT, so I asked it, I need to know all different style of language in French. So he's giving me all the different language that he can find from the question I asked him. So it says language is standard, current, familiar, argot, and it's giving me a bunch of things. And it says, that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for something more specific. So it says, okay. Then I work with my style here. Then the next, let's match this 10 genre. Sorry, I did ask a lot of questions as I go. Then I came back again and says, okay, this is great, but I need more information about the French language. I need a variable for the AI to help me write the books. Then maybe we'll understand that. It says, okay, here's a variable, niveau de language, style de rédaction, le ton, la structure, les phrases, le vocabulaire. It says that's not what I'm looking for, but I could do a JSON or a plugin with all that if I wanted to. I just need to wrap my head around it and make a plugin to get the proper French I want. But that's too complicated for what I'm looking for right now. So okay, based on that info, how would you describe a hunter language? So it says, okay, the hunter language, that's how he speaks, his style, le ton respectueux pour la nature, blah, blah, blah. Says, okay, that's not what I'm looking for still. So can you give me a style for that language? Because I want just one word to describe the language I'm looking for. So it says direct and concrete, blah, blah, blah. It says, okay, he really doesn't want to give me one word. So it's okay, I need you to be more specific. Okay, so the language, precise, and technique description, it's getting even worse. It's getting more than here. Oh my goodness, I'm not asking the right questions. So I said, okay, reduce me that to 10 words then. Tell me in 10 words what you put up here, because it's all that. That's what the people was talking like in the past. But I need it shorter. I cannot put all that in my style. So it says reduce to 10. So, okay, it says language technique describes sartorial narration, dynamic, respect de la nature. Okay, but there was also farmer in there. So it says, what about the farmer? The language pratique, descriptive de la nature, le ton terre à terre, respectueux. Okay. What about children? Then you give me the language is simple, ludique, imaginé, expressive, joyeux, and adapté to their age. Okay. What's about the family in the 1920? So it says, okay, language formal, respectueux, descriptive, axé sur les valeurs familiales. And now you can see that things are in French. I ask question in English, and it's giving me things in French, because here I have what we call the AIRPN, and it gives me access to language. And that's why I put down, when I did ask a question to ChatGPT, I had this in French. So it was giving me my answer in French. So, and you can tell ChatGPT, please give me the answer in French. It's going to do it in French. So what, so language formula, blah, blah, blah. So, and as here, I mean, even if you do mistake, you understand. So what technique the AI understand when it comes to write a story in French? Now it's giving me the technique that the AI understand. The structure, the personnage, the point of view, the theme, blah, blah, blah. So it's okay. Can you give me an AI prompt for that description? And that's what it gave me here. Create a story in French in the 1920. It's giving me basically a whole paragraph to describe everything above. So, okay, well, that I cannot put in any of my box still. I can put it in my brain dump. I can put it in a synopsis. I can put it where there's space, but it's still too much. So can you give me an AI prompt for the language for each character? So it says, oh, bien sûr, I can do that. Again, it's giving me a big paragraph. Okay. I like it, but it's too big. Now, can you give me a prompt for the AI to write in that language? Again, give me a prompt. It's a bit smaller, but not enough. That says, can you reduce that to 25 words? So it's giving me that little sentence here. Écris un récit d'aventure historique sur les trappeurs dans le nord du Canada avec un ton nostalgique et des descriptions naturelles détaillées et des traditions. So, okay, I can work with that. So how can we make it more attractive, more exciting to the reader? Because this is a bit boring. It says, okay, create a palpitant récit d'aventure historique sur des trappeurs audacieux dans le Canada du Nord sauvage. It's a bit not right properly in French, but okay. And mix action, mystère, tradition ancestrale, fascinante. Okay, you can see that he's having a bit of hard time with the French version here. So I say let's do the same for the theme and the style. The theme and the style. So, okay, compose une histoire captivante, style descriptif et vivante, axée sur la survie et l'aventure. So it's giving me something very good here that I can work with. So it says, okay, can you give me different dialect? So I finally find this here. I don't know what I was doing, and I heard the word dialect. It says, this is the word that the AI is going to understand. So it says, I need a dialect so I get the right French. This is great to give what I want to write about, but the language. And that's where it gave me finally the Quebec French, the Acadian French, the Cadian Cajun French, the Belge, the Swiss, the African French, and a patois from some area in France. I says, finally, this is what I need, because this is this one here that I need for my story. And that's from this part here that I says, write all output in French Québécois. And here I say, okay, now give it me in English. Quebec French, Acadian French, Cajun, Belgian, Swiss. And that's what I put down into the Discord. So I got both them, the French version and the English version, so that people know that in any language you're going to ask the AI, it's not straight Spanish that you want. Sometimes the story is in an area of Spain that speak really polite Spanish. And if you take the Spanish from the American Spanish, it's going to be slightly, if not a lot, different than the other Spanish from Spain. So you got to want to give them the exact Spanish you want to get the story written in. And don't be shy. These can be also put down into the character. Each character can have their own different dialect. And the AI normally do follow what you ask in the language that the person is speaking. And that's where you got these different language. And I kept going, asking a few things about my story, because he has the story that I asked. And here it says, okay, this is everything I need, but it's too long and I need you to understand in a JSON language. So once you get everything you want and it's too long, or it might be difficult for the AI to understand, the JSON language seems to be the language of preference for the AI. So I put down everything that I need the AI to understand. So can you write this in JSON language? Write all the output in French. The life was the trappeur du nord de Québec. And you can see it's mostly all in English and some is in French. I mix both. Poor AI, man, he's having a lot of work with me. So once I did that, it gave me a JSON. And all I did is copy this. And you can tell that even him, he put everything in French. So you understand my mix of French and English, because here it's knowledge and nostalgia is in English. And he put everything in French. I don't see any English nostalgie. So he took everything and put everything in French, and I also put down, write all the output in French. So what I did is copy the code, and then I went into my Sudowrite. And that's what you see in my Sudowrite when you get into, where did I put that? Right there in my brain dump. Right, all the output in French, and I put my JSON right here. And it's going to go and get it. Because one thing that you should check when you write your story with Sudowrite is this little interrogation point beside your main box. It's telling you that it's using the synopsis and the beats. So the brain dump is going to affect the synopsis and the beats. But as you go, after the brain dump is done, your genre is going to affect the outline, the beats, and the prose. So these little interrogation points are very important to know what box affect the next one. Like the style only affect the beats and the prose. So it's not going to affect your synopsis. Your synopsis take the information only from the brain dump. So if you want a good synopsis, make sure your brain dump has all the information you want, like the French, the people in your story, how you want the story to be written. Therefore, my little JSON, which is telling that is north of Quebec, and it's the farmer, trapper, all these people are in the story, and it's around river, lake, farm. All that stuff is in my brain dump. And that's how the synopsis is going to be written properly for you in the same time. So you can see, took back the rivière, which is my brain dump. It's giving the age of my grandfather at the start of the story, when he gets his heart attack, when he works at different place, when he goes with his grandson, his son, and obviously this part here that I have to tell them it's cut down. The character, on the other hand, they take everything from the synopsis. So if the name are not in the synopsis, is going to invent, is going to make new names like Thomas, Jack, Annette. These names are not supposed to be in the synopsis because he didn't get them earlier. Because in my brain dump, there's only my grandfather and his grandson and his son. So, and his wife. So, and then even in the character, I give him, but he forgot the narrator, which seems to be my great grandfather from the way that Sudowrite look at it. So he didn't even put that down that is there. I had to do it myself. My grandmother is there. One of his petit-fils, his grandson is here. And somehow his son is my grandfather is right there, my grandfather. But the rest, he just invent those from the synopsis. So there's a lot of and the fact that synopsis never exactly finish might be also the problem, that it doesn't have all the other names in it. So that's something I'm going to have to bring them the information. But because I know the story, I can direct the story as I go. Also, it's not something which is stopping me from writing the story. And I did ask for the outlook, the outline. Well, I always say outlook. So the outline is, oh, I lost something. Is everybody still there?
Still here.
Okay.
Yep,
Somehow
here.
we lost something. Are you still seeing my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. Somehow my screen just decided to go blank. Okay, I'm back. Good. So the outline is all there. So everything is there. It didn't stop with because of the synopsis, and the outline is taking the information from the genre, the synopsis, and the character. And then from there, that's where we start at the bottom here. That's another way to start your chapter. And again, stop at 8. So for me, there's something which is stopping it from going higher than 8. And I'm going to ask them why it's happening. And I'll get that fixed too. But that's where also you can start a new chapter this way. You can add chapter 4. It's going to create another chapter 4. And I can generate new beats. And I can go back, or I can go back here and copy my beats from that chapter 4 because I say, oh, I like those. And I can generate a different set of prose. So this is how my books get built. This is the Story Bible version. There's another way you can go about it. You can, if you don't want to use Story Bible, you can use, I'm going to show you that here. I'm showing you a lot of stuff. So if you get too lost and you want me to slow down or stop, let me know, because I'm going through everything that I can teach you, and it's already 11:34. So we've been an hour and a half together. So this is the other way that you can bring your story. If one of you has a story and you have tons of words or tons of chapter written, and he says, I don't want to use Story Bible. I don't want the AI to go all over the place with my story because I already know how to write my story. But sometimes I'm stuck. I need more information, or I need just a boost to get in. So what you can do, you can take this off, that little calculator here or typewriter, you can take it off. You can delete that. And you can write, so my book, or whatever title you have. You can bring your book here. So let's see, we're going to go get chapter 2. We're going to bring it in, so we'll give you an example of how to work this out. Set it all, set it copy. Go to my book. Now it says, this is my chapter 1 that it's already written from 5 years ago. I like it, but I want to keep my story going. But there's things in there that you like to fix, or you say there's not enough information. There's days where you can use the laser tools in your language and it will work. I don't see that's working every day, but the last week when I tried it, it worked. So if you have your story, you bring it in and it says, okay, I need more information, or I like this to be longer, more information to it. You go ahead and you can go and highlight it. And you can see you get these little laser tools showing up, which is called describe. Describe is that one here. Click on the little arrow down, because you may not want to describe everything. You may want to just see the sight, or just the smell, or the taste, because most people say, I don't want to know the taste of the floor. The sound, if it's something in the forest, he says, I just want to know more about the sound. Or if it's something they're touching, just a touch. So these, you can turn them up, on or off. And you can also have metaphor. Because all these cost words when you use them. So here says, ma foi c'est beau ici. So, okay, it's talking about something which is nice to look at. So it's something about the sight. Can also be something about the smell. We get that. Can be also the sound. So murmure-t-il contemplait l'œuvre de Père. Okay, so it's in the nature. I'm going to say it can see, smell, and the sound of nature. All right. So I'm going back here and I'm going to say, can you describe more? And is not doing it in French today. And last week he did it in French. So the laser tool today will not work in French, but they work in English. But you understand how it works. That's what I'm working with them to see they get all those laser tools to work in different language too. And it seems to be something about a day or something. But I'm going to try my little sentence first. See if it's going to do it. Describe. No, he doesn't want to. Wait a sec, that's in French. And that's in English. You did half and half. French, English. French, English. So he gave us both language. That's funny. Okay, so anyway, now you say how it works to expand something like this. So it's expanding in both language, which is it's kind of funny to me. So it's telling you that Armand's weather face, old content, smile, his face, his eyes bright, keen, survey, surrounding, walk in a beautiful nature with majestic trees. And Armand, donc, la silhouette se découpe contre les arbres sombres et les cieux gris-bleu, fait face à l'étendue sauvage. This is a very nice description of the nature that I ask here to describe this sentence. So, because the person here says, here it's very beautiful and is describing more what is beautiful. So, if you like it, it says, okay, I like this part. You take it, copy it, because we have two languages. You can also insert if you want. And you're going to see that the insert is in purple. And from here it says, okay, well, it's in French. I don't need the English language. As soon as you're going to remove these things going to turn supposed to, once you accept, it's going to turn white. So from here, it's telling me what my grandfather sees about his little sentence here. So he did expand it and he's talking to his grandson. So this is how you can rewrite some of your story or add things to your story. You can also use the write button, which autocomplete with magic, they say. But for our sake here, let's see if we can. We have something earlier, but that was in a synopsis. Let's see if we can continue writing something. Let's see here. Montepie sombre. If I put my cursor here at the end, and I ask for autocomplete with magic if it's going to do it in French. Place the cursor at the end of some of the text and click write. Okay. That's what I did. But maybe it doesn't see it right. And lucky us is doing it in French. So if this part here wasn't finished and I want to have a follow-up or something, what happened after, is going to write it for you. It's going to give you, it's going to read above, and it's going to say, okay, I think after that, this is what's going to happen. So right here is giving me this a full write with magic of the follow-up of that story that is thinking that's what's happening after. And here's is cutting down right here. So the sentence is not finished. And here's that why. In your write button here, you have the write setting. And it's going to stop at 250 words. And it's going to give me 2 cards. So you can see here, there's card 1, card 2. So I can choose which one that I like better. But both of them cost me 250 words because the AI is producing those new words. So you can get this to 1 card. You can ask up to 6 cards. I like 2 cards, and I don't like when my things is cut like this, but this is the maximum words per card. So it's giving me 250 words twice, and it's not finished. I will have to go back at the end of this and ask again to write to get it to finish until I'm pleased with what is going to write down. Here, you have your level of creativity. Because we have a biography or autobiography, we should put it probably here or here. So it doesn't go and make witches and things like that in it. Because if you go at the most, or you guarantee you're going to have witches and dragons and things that doesn't exist into your story. So this is the level of creativity of the AI. You can also put down key details that you want. So here I could put down, this is the story of my grandfather, my father. I can put the name. I can say is happening in the north of Quebec. I can tell them the name of the lake. Those are key details that is might use to write or rewrite or expand. Is going to keep that in memory, everything under the right. If there's some things you don't like, it says like, I don't like the way it's written. It's that's that this word here, I can ask to rewrite this. Is it enough words to rewrite? No, I need 10 words. So I have to give it 10 words, and you can see my highlighted words works on top now. It's okay, rewrite this sentence here. You can rewrite here. You can do describe or expand or visualize. We'll show you the visualize too. So here, rewrite this sentence for me, and I can choose. A shorter sentence. I want more description to my sentence. I want it to show me, or not tell me, show me what the person is doing or saying. You can add more inner conflict. You can make it more intense, or you can customize. And here I can say, add more swearing words, by example. Or what can I put down? Let's see. Let's get it more intense. That would do what I want. Get it more intense. Go. But you can choose what you want to change. All the words in purple are the one that the AI is counting normally. And the only word is using from this little highlight is the word torrent. The S and the comma. So these are not counted, just the purple words. And here, calvaire and torrents is the two words that he kept, and the rest all AI that use and you are deduct from your monthly words. Then you have a lot of things on top here, but I know we have almost on 2 hours. So I'd like for you guys to ask me if you have any question, because it's a lot of information that I give you in 1 hour and 45 minutes. Any question? Anything you'd like me to go over? Something you didn't understand quite well?
I have a few questions.
Yes.
But just since we are here in the laser tools, the first question is like, which model is being used by the tools? Is it like the chapter model? Like if we are, let's say, in a chapter that is using Best Pros, will we try to use Best Pros and so on?
That part here that I brought in?
Oh, the laser tools. So because when, let's say, hey, we select and say, oh, give me more description, and it's going to generate these cards. So those cards, how are they being created? Are those matching the chapter model? Are they using, let's say,
yes, they matching the chapter model.
Got it. Yeah. Okay,
plus
got it.
what we put down here in the bottom. Remember what we came here and we could say here what we want to be included.
Yes.
So you can go here and put more the key details.
Got it. Yes. And I have the same problem with you. Like sometimes I got like mixed. Like sometimes I got the card in English and only the dialogue in Spanish, and sometimes I just get all English, and sometimes I got all Spanish. So looks like this is something that they may need to polish a little bit more, the laser tool for other languages.
Yes.
And I also had to use your trick about using the brackets, like writing Spanish some dialect.
Yes.
And it did pick it up, but half and half. So
half
that
and half?
was yeah. So for example, sometimes I got the card in English and only the dialogue lines in Spanish, and sometimes I got the full card in English or the full card in Spanish. So that it looks like this is. I mean, this is a place where we may need to file some bugs for them to work harder on this.
Yes.
But thank you. Now with this, we know how to do what to do. So that was and I have like the 3 more notes here. So you use writing French in general in all boxes of the story Bible except in outline and bits. In the once we're in outline and bits, we use the dialect, right? So you synopsis, you use the JSON thing.
Everywhere in my brain dump. It's in my
Yep.
brain dump. It's in my genre. It's in my style. In my synopsis.
Yes.
It's in my
characters. Yeah, the question was that outline is different. So outline is going to say something like Quebec French, right? Outline and bits.
I did leave it as Quebec French at some place.
Oh.
But most of them, it's all write all the output in French and only in the outline, because this is the outline who's going to write the chapters. That's where I start putting things into the language I wanted.
Got it. And also, like, I know that all chapters and acts have repeat the same directive or the same command. Is that something that we should do as well? Like, I try to repeat it in every single act, every single chapter, try to do the annotation, the language annotation.
Yes. Yes, that's what I'm suggesting, to do it in every after the 2 dots. If you put it before the 2 dots, it won't work.
So after the 2 dots, So good notes. Dots and excellent. So the other 2 notes that I have is that since I was following this, I actually did use English until the generate chapter. So I did all the boxes, all the characters, etc. Even bits. I use English and only for generate chapter on generate prose in the chapter. That's when I switched to Spanish, and it seemed to work well for me. So it's a different process. But next time I try one of these, I'll try the JSON trick to see if I can get everything in Spanish from the very first box. So that's a very nice workflow that you're sharing with us, Manon.
Yeah, that's the only way. If not, it's going to mix them up when you get your prose.
Got it. And the last thing that I did was I tried the 3 models, like the unfiltered, best prose, and most accurate. Now, unfiltered was a mess, though. It didn't seem to like the language. It did generate the Spanish, but it got like brackets and not notable typos. So unfiltered really wasn't up to the task. So
no, it's
the
not.
best prose of got it. So that's it. So those were my comments and notes, and now I know what to try and what I should. So thanks a lot.
You're welcome. I mean, the three one that works good with different languages, those 3, the unfilter, I got the same problem than you. It's not working out too good with the unfilter. And it's a very new generating program that they enter, right? It's 2 weeks ago, Chris, that they put unfiltered.
Yeah, I think it's been 2
And
weeks
it's still on the testing phase. So they ask everyone if we wanted to have it, knowing that we know is having problem with it. It's not exactly all finished the right way, but we are testing it in the same time. So that's something that I'm going to mention. And you should also mention it, that the unfilter doesn't work too well with the other language. See what they're going to tell us about that, because I have the same problem with unfilter. It doesn't give me really good information. There's brackets and comments and restarting many times, because the unfilter is only doing 400 words at a time. That's one thing. Even in English, it's going to do 400 words, pause. It's going to reread what you wrote, then it's going to restart again. Not restart the whole thing. It's going to start writing again, knowing what he wrote before, and he's going to write the next 400 words. It's going to pause, do the same thing, then continue. And that's why it takes so long. And it's very hard to do a plugin with the unfiltered, because he only write 400 words, and there's supposed to be some kind of prompt that we're supposed to give it to get it to write the rest of the story. But I haven't got that prompt yet.
Got it. And it's going to be interesting with the new models that they're adding. Like they have this new beta, so I hope some of those models are better for languages than unfiltered. So
yeah, there's other one which you don't see right now because I'm not in the right box for that. I'm testing. There's 5 more that should be underneath here that we are testing right now, and they're not ready to be out for the public yet. There's too much to be done with them. It's like the unfilter. There's a lot of work still to do.
Got it. So, since I was able to get some Spanish out of this without the plugin, so what if I were to once I get the plugin? So, what's going to be better? Like, is it going to be follow the commands a little bit more closely? Will it read the JSON that you're using in the synopsis? So, what is the plugin for?
Here's the plugin. So let's see if I can get you. Here we go. One of the plugin that I made here. because our laser tool don't work too good for the French language. So I made a plugin and I said to the system, please help me. You're a very good writer, blah, blah, blah. And I say, this is the highlighted words that I want you to give me the senses. So how they see, the smell, the taste, the sound, the touch, and the metaphor. And you can see they're all written in French. So if you use that plugin, which basically is the same thing than the laser tool, once you have access to it, and I'm sorry you don't have access yet, but as soon as you have it, you'll know how to use it. So basically, if I take chapter 3, so I take this and I go in the plugin, and these are the plugin that I'm using, and you can see all the one with the Canadian flag is the one I made. I can ask it to give me story with lesson, teams. That's a whole other ball game to show you, but maybe next week I can show you how to work, or as soon as they have access to all, you guys have access to all the plugin, I can show you how to work all those plugin, which is fun to work with. But where's my senses? Sense. Right, peux-tu dire Halloween Extreme, une histoire de base, histoire vraie, because I asked help with true story, so he doesn't give me all those witches stuff. Ask him to do me a fantastic story, écrire en français dans mon style, 3 histoires, écrivez, okay, écrivez les sens. So this one here is basically that with all the senses. But I got it to write in French from start. So there's no need to put the bracket because it's going to give it all of them. And only one card is not going to stop at 250. It's going to write the whole thing in French. And
Excellent.
I could do the same thing in Spanish. I would have to go and say, instead of in French, I would have to rewrite everything and say, can you do it please in Spanish? And it would give me all that in Spanish.
Great. This is so much better. Thank you.
So hopefully, if you go into the system I told you earlier, and I know I have Maggie, which show up a bit late here. If you go in Discord, go under the international French and write your email, write your name, and say you want to have access to the plugin. And I'm going to ask Michael to give you access to the plugin. And I hope I'm going to put on my knees if I have to get the plugins for you guys so that you can actually test those plugins.
I thought I had already done that. Did I put it in the wrong place? Okay, there I am. Okay, perfect.
There you are. So I'm going, as soon
much.
as we finish, I'm going to ask them to give you the plugin, and hopefully you're going to get the plugin before the end of the weekend.
Appreciate
Let
it.
me know. Let me know if you get them or not, or if they answer you anything. So I like to know what's I can do to help you more.
Yeah, will do. And going back to your brain dump. So what is that JSON for? I know we're giving it more language information, but does it work for our models? Is it something that the AI just picks up, or is it something that is particular to a plugin or Sudowrite?
It's not it's something we use to get the AI to understand very well what we ask it. So what I did is I went in ChatGPT and I asked ChatGPT, this is everything I want.
Oh,
but
yes,
I know that,
yes.
yeah, I know he's not going to understand everything because half of it is in French, half of it is in English. So I says, can you write that in JSON? And JSON is a language of computer or AI understand very well. So he took my little demand, put it in JSON, I copied the code, and I brought it into Sudowrite. And I put it in my brain dump.
That's very, very smart. So thank you.
You're welcome. Any more questions? Anything else you want me to test for you guys? All right.
Thank you, Manon. This was really great.
You're absolutely welcome. Nice to have you on board again, Chris.
Yes, sorry I missed last week. I was supposed to remind you about asking John about the point, the double point and the point, changing it when you put it after chapter.
Perfect. That's exactly what I need to make sure I don't forget. So, John, we need to do something with those 3 dots. Perfect. So I'm going to do that as soon as we get off. So Serena, all is well?
Hi. Yep, all's well. It was very clear. Thanks so much.
Oh, you're welcome. And Maggie or Megai, I know you came in late. I hope you got a lot of information and it's going to help you to write.
Oui, en fait, c'était en anglais, donc j'ai pas trop participé, mais comme ça ressemblait beaucoup à ce qu'on avait la semaine dernière, j'ai pu un peu regrouper. Voilà.
Ah, OK, il t'a changé ton nom, c'est pour ça que je t'ai pas reconnu.
Ah bon?
Oui, ben t'as pas parlé non plus, fait qu'on ne savait pas si tu parlais français ou anglais.
Mais je suis arrivée 15 minutes en retard, donc j'avais un peu honte de rentrer en retard. Et puis comme tout était en anglais, donc je me suis dit, en fait, c'est pas la suite de la semaine dernière, donc voilà.
C'est ça, je cherchais c'est qui était là la semaine dernière, mais vu que tu es arrivé en retard, j'ai
Oui, je suis
commencé la
arrivée
classe.
oui, avec 15 minutes de retard, mais bon,
Oui,
c'était pas grave, hein, j'ai revu d'autres choses qu'on a vues la semaine dernière.
oui, oui. Puis moi, c'est ça, j'ai emmené une histoire qui est vraie. C'est une histoire de mon
Oui, oui,
grand-père,
de la
donc
biographie, oui,
c'est
j'ai vu,
ça.
ouais.
Donc, c'est un petit peu différent de quand tu écris quelque chose de fictif, que tu peux laisser
Ouais,
l'ordinateur faire les choses. Moi, je dois vraiment manœuvrer avec le AI,
oui, j'ai vu ça.
en plus d'être en français.
Ouais.
Donc, j'espère que tu as appris pareil. La prochaine fois, sois pas gêné, dis-le. Moi, c'est plus en français. Et puis, je vais traduire, je vais faire les deux, back and forth.
D'accord, ok. Bon,
OK?
la prochaine fois, je le dirai, ok.
Parfait. Donc, I'm going to stop the recording. Je vais arrêter le recording. Et puis, si vous avez d'autres questions que vous êtes gêné de poser, vous pouvez me poser. Donc, merci beaucoup d'être venu. Vous n'êtes pas obligé de raccrocher. On peut continuer à jaser.